Hi everyone, my name is Alvin, and I am an animator. And every time I see the crook, True Bones, aka Joseph Earl McPeak, infringing on someone else's trademark and copyright, I have to go and report it to the persons who is the rightful copyright holder of the content. So today's victim is Epic Games. Joseph Earl McPeak of True Bones has stolen your content. Recently, the YouTuber named Rubu999, who has renamed his YouTube channel Free 3D Models, this user started sharing your game assets from Fortnite, where he has a link to download the animations and avatars from your game. Here are the links to the video of the game assets from the game Fortnite. Weeks later, after this video was made, Joseph Earl McPeak, aka True Bones Motions, cranked up his Kinect and iPi software. He then pretended he was making Fortnite animations with an Xbox Kinect version 2 using a suspect unregistered copy of iPi Soft. Here is the comedic clown pretending he is making motions. What's up everybody, it's your boy One Gun here, and today I'm going to work on the bar scene for the animation here, and as you can see, I got a decent bar. I won't be using that much of it, maybe about this much of it, because she's going to be standing right here throwing stuff, and probably throwing people around too. I'll probably be bringing in some low poly characters and stuff in here to fill in the background, but yeah. So, go ahead, get started, and work on this. First things first, I got to go in here and probably clean everything up. I don't know how much time I got this one to do this, but, well, probably, matter of fact, I probably don't have time to do this, right? I just look at the clock, probably don't have time to do this, but, what I'm going to do is just basically, just work on this, for a little bit. Well, maybe not work on this, but, just basically show you all the bar scene. You can see how I have to come in here and go through each one of these and smooth out everything. So, you know, because everything's all faceted right now, and you can see, yeah. So, go ahead and do that. Maybe do something about the textures and stuff, because we got some really bad texture stuff going on. But yesterday, if I could find the pictures and stuff to show you all. Yesterday I was just going through and rendering out some stuff. I was actually thinking about going through here and actually animating this part right. Actually, this part right here, where she goes and talks to the guy and then she flies off. So I went back and I had redid actually what I did is I went back and all this down here is animated right here, right from here all the way down. I just didn't add the plane. I did something else different. This is all done too, because all this was like all still images, all this stuff right here. So now we know all this is done here up to this part. So the only parts that has to be done is from here on here. Then this whole first page is done. Then we get into the second page, and the second page is nothing but those two fighting each other, and that's going to be relatively easy. That's going to happen after where is it? After this part. So instead of airplane, I just got her. I just did the whole Indiana Jones thing. And you probably even play the Indiana Jones music out in here too. But I was like, I mean, I want to do the airplane scene, but I couldn't find a decent airport. I couldn't find me an airport that was like within my budget and didn't look totally fake. Yeah, so I went ahead and did this. I mean, here's something I'm most likely gonna do is, like, after I finish this and get paid for this, I probably will go back and revise a lot of this animation and add more stuff. Not redo it, because I think it looks pretty good, but add more stuff to it. You know, add an alternative ending than the ending that's gonna happen. change the story up some, get some voice actors involved in it, and so he's coming. So so the next part that's gonna happen is like she's he's like, why you want to talk to me like about this Diebold guy? And she's like, I need to meet him so I can ask him a few questions or whatever. And after this it's probably gonna go back to him, show him, and then they're gonna do the fight scene, and then after that it's gonna be pretty much done by then. But I'm just getting all the pictures and stuff out the way, and that should be that. That should be the end of that. As for I don't know if you all watched me work on this yesterday, but I'm gonna show it again. Here's some of the still images and stuff that I did. I don't know how he's gonna use it, but my favorite is this one right here. I like this one a lot. So it was a pretty good time working on this project, and it's almost coming to an end. I really did like working on the animated scenes. They were kind of fun, and the guy told me like he loved what I did and everything, and it looked great. And he's got other stuff for me to do, and I'm going to start working on that as soon as I finish with this. Then we go on to the next thing, and then the next thing I'm going to is going to be for quite a few months because he wants to do a whole horror story anthology, and I'm like, I'm cool, I can do it. It gives me something to do. But I think this whole scene came out extremely well. I think this is it's the longest one, topping over almost 2 minutes. Longest part. I got other scenes too, included in this, but I think this is the most complete work I've done since Archive. This is the most complete thing I've done since Archive, and I really did work hard. Really did. I think I did. The voice and sound effects, that ain't me. That's he's gonna do all that stuff because he didn't think. Well, I don't know. He might shoot this back to me to actually add the voices and stuff to it, because he didn't expect it to come out looking this good. He didn't expect it to come out looking this good. If you look at all the other stuff he's gotten from other artists, and I looked at the stuff that he sent me he got from other people. Nobody took the time to do this. Nobody took the time to do what I did, and he likes it. He likes it a lot, and he even especially likes it for the simple fact that I went by his storyboards. If you look, I not only went by his storyboards, but I actually took the time out to actually enhance, take what he had and make it better. Anytime you take something that somebody had and make it look better, take their stuff and make it look good, and not actually going off of what they did, but just taking what they did and just enhancing it some. He really did like it. How I made it come to life. He really did like it. I don't know what he's gonna do with sound effects and stuff. I could add the voices and stuff to it, but he doesn't have it recorded. He just gave me storyboards because he was expecting to get a bunch of mostly. For what he told me, he was expecting to get like a bunch of stills, but I went through and animated a bunch of the stuff. Most of the stuff he had down marked as stills. I said I'm going to animate it because, man, the reason why I did this is because I wanted it to look interesting. I took the most interesting parts of the story and animated. Some of the stuff that's not interesting, some of the stuff that was okay to move the story along, I kind of left that as a still. The whole office scene, in my opinion, could have been animated. But it wasn't, to me, the most important part to be animated. The most important part to be animated is a fight scene and when she goes to the gym. And then the fight scene that happens at the gym. There will be some stills somewhere inside when she goes to the gym and stuff like that. But I think when she goes to the gym and fights this dude, I think that should be animated as well. That's going to be the next thing I do after I finish up all the stills. I'm doing everything that I can up until when we get to the naughty parts. When we get to the naughty parts, Yeah, you did, Jack. You know, when we get out to naughty parts, and I can't do naughty parts, so I'm doing everything I possibly can to go back and at this point now that I got the main part of the animation done for the beginning. The end ain't nothing but sex. That's all. That's all it is, you know, and that should be pretty easy. At the when it gets to the end of this, and that should be that's gonna come after these next couple of animations I do. The last part of it. I'm hoping to get the last part of this, which is the sex parts, done sometime between now and Sunday. And I'm hoping Sunday is the last day I'm working on this because I really want to get this out the way and start something else as soon as possible. But I took my time, and especially now everybody knows I've been working on this for quite some time. So now, and it ain't because of the animation. You know, it was other things I had to do. You know, which was make her outfit. You know, make the fighting animation at the beginning. Building up the crowds, the scenery and stuff like that. All this stuff takes time. Alright, all this stuff takes time. And just because iClone makes it easier for you to actually come in here and make animations, easy as of how. You know, they say that it's a lot easier. Well, I can tell you what iClone does for an artist who wants to do animations. Alright, I can tell you exactly what iClone does. iClone makes it more efficient to get your props out, get your scene made, get everything ready, and the way the program works, it works to the benefit of getting your project done versus sitting over in Dash Studio or sitting over in Poser or Blender or something like that and just basically doing everything from scratch. A lot of things in here are made so it will be easy to get your animations in here. Get your scenes, your props and stuff set up. Put your cameras in there, and you're done. You know, and that's basically why iClone is such a good way to do your final output once everything is set in place. You know, before I even got to the part to where I put the cameras up, you know, and started, setting up everything before it get rendered. It was a lot of work that had to be done. You know, case in point, when I did this scene, and I had to set up the gym. I had to get the gym ready because I had to take the gym out of Dash and bring it over here. And when I brought it over here, I still had to do a little work to make sure that everything will look good. You know, I also had to make the little town and stuff that she drives through. I mean, and when you look at the little town she drives through, it's only in there for a few brief moments. I mean, when she flies from New York all the way to Mexico, on this big curve, on this big arcing curve here, this scene right here only lasts for a couple of seconds. You know, I mean, a couple seconds. She stops. Boom. You know, and this lasts for maybe 10-15 seconds, and then she starts her walk over to the door. You know, but everybody know how long it took me. I mean, I worked this whole thing in real time. I mean, it's 2 minutes of animations, and it took me about a week to do all this. You know, a week to do it all. You know, make a shirt. You know, her shirt. I had to make a shirt for her. Because the crap they had in iClone was just crappy. Just crappy shirts. You see how her shirt fits her like a big busted woman shirt should fit her. You know, it's not gonna like sink and separate her boobs. You know, stuff like that. So that's why I had to make her a shirt, a decent shirt to wear, and she looks good now. I had to fix some stuff with the animation, fix the feet and everything. Because I mean, when she makes this walk, because the most important thing about this scene is the walk she makes. You know, and I had to make her feet look like they were going to fit in her. You know, her feet were going to walk right. You know, and I had to adjust her feet. And when somebody says that, you know, I'm using pre-made animations and stuff like that, well, so, you know, the animation may be from motion capture studios or whatever, but the motions are made for me to tell a story, and that's what I'm doing. I'm telling the story the best way I can with software, animations, whatever. You know, I mean, I could have went gun ho and sat back and animated the whole thing, but then again, you gotta think about who you doing this for. I mean, if you got a customer who's gonna wait, you know, 8 months for you to animate a scene like this, well, go ahead, do everything by hand. You know, go and do it. But you got somebody who needs something done quickly and for it to look good, you're gonna do everything and get all your resources together to make that happen. You know, I'm not gonna sit back and give somebody something that's bad looking or something shoddy. I want to give somebody something that looks like they paid their money for it. You know, so you know, and when they get it, they're gonna either feel guilty that they paid me too little, or I mean, well, that's the only thing I want them to feel. Like, I want them to feel guilty that they didn't pay me enough or whatever, and then give me more. I mean, I never ask for more, but usually sometimes I get more. You know, when I do one of these jobs, and I give say okay, well, and usually they like my work at the end, and so far this guy likes my work, you know, and that's why he's giving me more work, you know, and he's hooking me up with more stuff because I actually gave him a product. Now, if you were with me from the beginning of this, I went all out. I mean, I actually made clothing, I made characters, I made everything, and most of it involved in doing a lot of customization. That's basically what it is. When it came to me doing this animation, was to do a lot of customization on the characters, character clothing, and with the animation. I have videos where I worked in Motion Builder for days, you know, just to get the beginning part of this done, you know, just to get this part up here done and out the way. And I think everybody knows what I mean. Let me go over here and try to find. Let me go over troops. That's not the right one. Let me try to go over here and find the clip. It's one of these folks. I think it's this one. So everybody was here when I worked on this, and this was like this was at like the beginning of November, beginning of November when I worked on this, and worked on this pretty hard. And since I made this video, I've made improvements on it, and I haven't really showed nobody or put it out there yet. But yeah, I made improvements to this whole thing right here, and when you when people say that, well, he's just using presets. No, I'm not using presets, folks. I'm using the animation files and taking those animation files and making new total motions, new motions out these animations files. Like, I take a run here, a kick here, and then I composite together, and then you get what you see here, you know. And anybody can do the same thing. It's just that I mean, it's just that if you look at what I did and you look at something else that somebody else did, say like Joe from True Bones over there, if you look what I did and then you look and see what he did, you will see that you can see two totally different animations. One that time was put into, and the other that, you know, it was just a hot mess, you know. Let me go over here to my channel real quick and do this. There we go. Let me fix this real quick. And I guess at this point of the conversation, we're going to talk about the troll. So let's talk about my crowd first. As you can see, when you look at my animated crowd back here, you know, you can see all of them doing something different, different things and doing different stuff. Let me get out of here. Matter of fact, I'll just pull up the whole file. I'll pull the whole file up and then compare what the buffoon said versus what if I can find out where that video of his is, unless he took it down. Oh, excuse me. Unless he took it down already. Seems like he made a couple of videos. I think this might be it right here.
Scale her up.
Yeah. Because Joe's not really doing nothing for entertainment. He's just doing everything to spite what I'm doing, and that's his problem. That's it. I mean, he wants to do something because he sees somebody else do it and he think he can copy it or whatever. But I'm gonna show you the difference between what he had to talk about yesterday and what I actually sat back and took my time and did. If I can find it, I know it's in here somewhere. I'm trying to find the animation. I don't know where it is. Let me see. Oh, I think it's one of these one that's black, that's blanked out. 3A. Let's check and see if it's this one. I was like, I don't know where it is. This is gonna load up, but like he said, he said something about. I mean, take a look at these. Yeah, that's what he did. Let's just take a look at what he said about these crowds. He said that this is what I was trying to do, and if you look at the crowd itself,
the whole entire thing, for him to go and make realistic looking people on a crowd scene for the background, only an idiot would do that, folks.
Yeah. So he calls me an idiot, but look at what the idiot. I mean, he didn't even make these. He snatched this stuff out of a game, and he's telling me because I didn't snatch this stuff out of a game like he did, I'm stupid. Well, if you can look closely at some of these characters back here, you will see the let me see. You will see the V and G logo. You know what V and G stands for? It stands for Vivid Games. So if I was to take this dude's stuff, right, and put this garbage in it, and then Vivid Games were to see this man's stuff and then tell him he has to take it down. Yeah, everybody has suits on too. I think mine's still loading up over it, and you can see this is obvious Vivid Games content. And just look how bad these characters look. Look at them. The reason why they're shiny and glossy is because you need to go into the specular and fix it. But look at this. This is horrible. This is horrible. Now this is some low poly stuff. I mean, this is uber low poly, but I got low poly characters who wear suits to a wrestling match. Now I ain't gonna lie, I did put a couple people in my but here we go. But so this is what he's trying to compare himself to, folks. See, this is what he's trying to compare himself to. This is what he's trying to do. Let's take a closer look at my crowd, please. Let's look at the crowd. See, I got a couple of girls in here I gotta swap out. Yeah, no, I gotta come back and fix some of this stuff. But when the motion blur stuff is on, see, I can get close. I can get close into my crowd. I mean, I can get from here. I gotta pull this guy out the floor. I gotta pull a couple people out the floor. He's in the floor too. Or are they sinking into the floor? Which one is it? Okay, they're in the floor. I gotta pull them out. But from here, you can't really tell. You can tell that everybody in my crowd. I mean, look at my crowd. Look at that. Everybody in my crowd. I mean, I got a couple of dupes in here. I ain't gonna lie, I got a couple of dupes in here. But you can tell that everybody in my crowd is doing something totally different. I took the time to animate. Yeah, they're shiny as heck. I took the time out to put different animations on them. The animations themselves comes from Mocap Online, and if you look at these animations, you can tell that everybody in the crowd is doing something different. I got a couple of stillies up here, a couple of stillies. That's a still person. That's a still person right there. But when you, I think I even got the other side over here done. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Actually, let me cut this down to minimal. I'm using up a lot of resources here. This is a big scene. This scene is 980,000 polygons, which ain't bad. Which ain't bad. But look, I got a crowd over here. I gotta fill this up. Fill this up over here for some of these scenes. But the thing about it is, like, some of these seats won't even be seen. But look at the background. Look at how everything. Well, I need to have people standing. I need to get some people filling up this part over here. I need to get some people to fill up this part over here. But some of the parts I got filled. But when you put everything in context, when I go to switch, you can actually see the characters in the background. I mean, actually like a stadium, actually like people in there. Actually, I mean, it actually looks good. different. Yeah, all my people got different clothes on. Now, and all these characters didn't come. These low poly people did not come out of a game, you know. But when you look at this garbage right here, look at this garbage. Let's see. Where does he show the animation of them? He shows the animation here somewhere. This is when he shows the animation. But one of these scenes, he shows the animation of it. I think this is it right here. But listen to him talk, folks. Listen to him talk.
What took one gun 2 months? You see, a background crowd is going to be blurry because they're in the dark anyway. It's going to be dark. They're going to be far away. And
well, let's test that out, shall we? So let's cut this off. All right, and let's cut this up to medium. Let's put that on medium, and let's finish this till talking to we come back here. Let's listen to him, folks.
And if you use the motion blur or the blur tool on the camera, you're not even going to see what they look like.
Well, Joe, it doesn't matter if we see what they look like. They look awful. You would actually have to make the whole entire background of your thing total black because these things look horrible. Look at them. They all look the same. They all belong in the game that they came from, really. And he's up here saying he's such a whiz because he went over there, had Kimmel Topol or Rubu take this out of a game and convert it over to iClone format so he can use it. I mean, why won't he use this for his fighting thing he's doing? Because he know it looks awful and he don't even know how to adjust the settings so it can look believable. I don't have to adjust my settings. Well, maybe I do. I think my stuff ain't cut on. Hold on, let me go over to my window workspace. Let's go back over to standard, and let's go to visual. I think my stuff ain't cut on. That's it. Let's see. Let's cut this on. And let's cut this on. And there you have it. And let's go ahead and cut this on. And let's cut this on. Okay, that's on. And let's okay, everything is on. And cut this on. All right. Everything's basically on. And I don't have to make my crowd pitch black or dark because my crowd looks good. It looks great. My crowd let me look at it. Look at it. It looks like you actually in a wrestling ring. I mean, you can see the guy's fingers. You can see this girl's ponytail, and it's all low poly. And I got a blur on it too. Even with, I mean, if I cut this blur off and it still look good. And that's what I want to give people. You know, my crowd looks super active. Look at it. And don't forget, folks, I also added some other stuff to this. I mean, look at the background. Look, I got the thing back there. I mean. And yes, all these props were bought, people. Everything, I spent my money on this. I spent my money on these props. Let's see. I think this is the right one right here. Yeah, I spent my money on all this stuff, folks. And he's angry because I wouldn't spend my money. I spent my good money to buy all this stuff that you see in here. You know, I made her outfit, you know. I painted her face. I did all her makeup on her face. I did everything, you know. I made her outfit too. I made her outfit, and he's angry because I took the time and made all this stuff. I spent my time and look at this crowd. Okay, now this is the perfect example. Look at this crowd. You can actually, even with the blur on, you can actually tell that each one of these people are different. Each one. Maybe not the twin sisters here, but everybody here is different. You know, everybody's doing different motions. Everybody's doing something different. When you look at this clown stuff over here that he got going on, and then he has audacity to say, I mean, let's listen to what he say. Let's listen to it. Listen to what he says.
Because why? Because they're called background characters. That's why they don't have to be more than 20,000 vertices for the whole entire thing.
20,000 vertices.
For him to go and make,
I don't do vertices. I do polygons, so I don't know what that means. But we can go on.
realistic looking people on a...
What looks more realistic, folks? This garbage here, or what I have here? What's more believable in the crowd, folks? I mean, what's more believable? Look at it. Look at this. I got people jumping, screaming, yelling, you know, rooting, all type of stuff. Look at this garbage he got over here. Look at this.
A crowd scene for the background? Only an idiot would do that, folks. I'm telling you, only an idiot would spend 2 weeks to 2 months creating realistic looking characters for a background shot.
Really? Really? I mean, somebody's paying me to do this, you know? Somebody's paying me to make these backgrounds look good, to make this whole thing look, I mean, if somebody's paying you money, why would you sit back and cheapen it by putting stolen video game assets in it? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, why would you cheapen somebody's hard spent money and doing some cheap crap like this? Why would you do that? I mean, I don't understand what the hell this thing is right here. I mean, it has a human head on it, but these are some extremely low poly, crappy characters that were in a game that Joe ripped the game. And think about it, I think is what it is, like you have this like, well, I don't know if this shows the animation of the scene,
Folks,
but
it doesn't make me mad. It makes me glad to show everybody that I just did in 5 seconds what one gun took 2 weeks.
now let's put this in perspective, folks. When he said what he did in a couple seconds, what he did in a couple seconds was go over to Rubu, steal the real boxing stuff from Rubu. So we can go over to Rubu. Now he's saying that he made this. He didn't make nothing. So we're gonna go to Rubu. RROOBB. Actually, I'm gonna make a copy of this. I'm gonna make a copy of this. I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna duplicate this and shut him up and go to RROOBBOO. Rubu, now here it is. I think this is it. Yeah, here he is. So let's go over here to his videos and let's type in real bout. Here it is. I think this is it. It's one of these two. Let's see if it's this one first.
Hey everybody, this Cyber Monday, Udemy is having its biggest sale of the year on all their online courses.
This is exactly what he did. He came over here and he stole everything from over here. Took all the animations, the fighting animations. He just stole all this stuff. I mean, he just took it all, everything. You know, and he claims that he made it when he actually did make it. Here are all the animations and models. That's nice. I like that. Probably, you know, I could, if I had something like that, I could use that. But oh, there it is. So here are the models that Joe claimed that he made. Here are the models that Joe claimed that I was stupid for not getting, that came out of this game called Real Boxing. Even Rubu shows you the game. This material should not be used for personal. This material should only be used for personal use and not for commercial use because it can be protected by copyright. Therefore, those who use it improperly are solely responsible. So Joe wants me to come over here and use this in somebody's project. That's what he wants me to. He wants me to come over here and use stolen stuff in my project. And he's angry because I didn't follow him and use stolen stuff in my project. You know, why would I want to come over here and use stolen stuff in my project when I already spent some money some years ago? Well, me and my friend spent some money some years ago. I put in half, he put in half, and we bought all these low poly people. These are low poly people, and these are designed to use in crowds, you know. And they have like these are just the medium poly ones. I have higher poly ones than this that you can use for crowds, and you have the very low poly. Now, when I mean low poly, these guys right here are like 10,000 something poly, not 10,000, but around 2,100 polygons, something like that per person, maybe 21, 22, something like that. But we have the ones that are around less than 1,000 polygons, you know, and those are the lower poly ones that I can use. Those I could have filled up this whole thing, and I think I probably will. I just got to go back and bring them out over here. But I'm not done with this character yet. Even though the project will be done, I'm still gonna talk him into doing more stuff with this character, and that's not on the bad side. She'll have her X-rated adventures, and then she'll have her regular action adventures, you know, and that's what I want to talk him in. I'm going to talk him into that. Let me take this character further, you know. But this is what it is, folks. It is what it is. You know, he wants me to come over here and steal stuff. He wants me to come over. See, all this stuff is stolen. All this stuff is stolen out of games, and he wants me to come over here and be like him and be a crook and a pirate and steal this stuff too. Repeat what? What it is. I try to talk the guy into doing a series or something. But yeah, I mean, this is what I mean. He got the stuff from here. I mean, and he takes the stuff from here and he takes it over to a Truebill site and he sells it and he claims that he owns it, and he doesn't. How can you own something that you didn't make? He still can't answer that question. But instead he runs over here and sees what I'm doing. He comes over here and he sees what I'm doing, and then he talks about that I'm stupid and I'm dumb because I spent money to finish and make a whole project. I'm using my assets, the stuff that I bought, that I own, to finish my projects and give something to somebody, you know, somebody who asked me to do this for them, something of quality. And that's what I want to do. I'm gonna get this guy something good, you know. His whole thing is to cheat, and is to cheat and steal other people's stuff. My whole thing is to just start from scratch, you know, and that's what I basically did, from the animations all the way to the designing of the characters, all the way to the end product, the videos I've made. I've done it all. I've done it all basically by hand, you know, everything by hand, you know. So what I use, motion capture files. That's why motion capture industry exists, so you can outsource whatever you need done to be done. No, I still do traditional animation, but it's just so much faster when you're working and doing stuff to actually have the just to have some offhand animation files to actually complete your work, and that's what I've done. There's nothing wrong with using animation files. Now, I did have people saying that stuff at first, but once people started, you know, understanding where I was coming from, they understood. Okay, you work faster like this. And of course, I work faster like that. You know, if somebody want to take 8 months, like I said, if somebody want to take 8 months out their life to animate all the stuff I just did, let them do it. I mean, I don't care. I mean, let them do it. You just got your customer waiting eight months to a year to get something back. You know, me. I don't even think I've been working on this project for barely a month yet, you know. I think it's been over a month, but still. You know, the fact it's just the fact of the matter that he can't do it, and he has proven every day he can't do it. The other day he tried to work on something, and he couldn't get the character in T-pose. Well, you can easily get a character into a T-pose as long as it's rigged. And when I looked at the video, I was like, oh, he don't know how to take a character that he bought in from somewhere else and bring it through exchange and put it in a T-pose. He doesn't know how to do it. It's because he doesn't know how to animate. He doesn't know how to use the program. So I started this project exactly 1 month ago for my first video. From the first video to now, it's been exactly 1 whole month, folks. I did, if you exclude all the Joe videos out between in, you can come here and definitely see that I have been working on this for a very long time. And well, I wouldn't say very long time, but a month. You know, it took me about it took me about a month to work on Archive 2 before I finished it. So I can crank out an animation of 10-minute animation a month for, you know, within, you know, 1.5 months. That's not bad, you know. But his whole thing is to sit back and say that I can't do this and I can't do that. But when you come and look at my videos in real time, you can tell that, oh yes, he can do it and he's doing it. And the problem is that you go over here and look at his channel, and everything on his channel is nothing. Is all about me, about his hate and his hate for me. I mean, you go over here, all you see is videos about me and his hate for me. That's it. Oh yeah, and all the stuff he's stolen. That's all you see is videos about me and his hate for me, and that's what's paying his bills right now, is him to make videos about me and his hate for me. That's all, folks.
For the whole entire thing, for him to go and make realistic-looking people on a crowd scene for the background, only an idiot would do that, folks.
Well, the characters aren't realistic. They are low poly characters that are specifically made as background extras. That's what they were, you know. And what he don't understand is that the stuff that he has here are stolen content from another game that he's trying to pass off as his stuff. See, the thing about it, if I were to go over to him and get this stolen stuff from him, he will just basically steal the whole video and say that the video and the animation, the whole production, is his. That's why you don't use nothing of his, because in the letter that I read from his friend, that's the case. That's in every case. If you use anything of his, he will try to claim it as his whole total thing. So if you go over there and get one of his animals and put one of his animals in a scene, and that scene lasts for 10 seconds, and you talk about a film that probably lasts about 30 minutes, he's going to say that he made the whole film. You get what I'm saying? That's why you don't trust him. That's why you don't buy nothing from him. Because, like I said, he's an art thief. He'll say, oh, he'll come to you and approach you and be like, oh, wow, that's some great stuff. Hey, you should use this. You should use that. Hey, take this. It's free. And once you get it from him, he's going to come back and try to claim the whole thing is his. That's why you don't trust him. He tried to do the same thing with me, with my Archive Infinity film. He tried to claim that I used his stuff in my film. Once it was found out that I didn't, and he couldn't prove if I did, his claim was null and void. Because the biggest thing about it is that I did a whole vlog on when I did the Archive of Infinity. I did a whole vlog on it. And in that vlog, I showed everybody where I got my stuff from. Most of the stuff I got back then was from basically Mixamo and Mocap Online, with some of the animations also coming from Dash Animate and some stuff from Renderosity too. And I let everybody know that when I did my videos, where my stuff was coming from, how I was making it. And this fool right here, decided to say one day that since my video was very popular, now my Archive Infinity video was very popular for a long time, you know, and he approached me as iClone0. Now, he is Walter iClone Malone. And at the time, of the contest and everything, Real Illusion had already kicked him out. Alright? So he decided that he's going to get back at them by taking and stealing their stuff. And he does this all the time. When you and him, or if he ever gets on the outs with you, and he gets angry with you, what he will do is he will start the whole propaganda of saying why your stuff isn't good. He will steal your stuff and then say it's his and start selling it to you as his when it's the stuff that you originally made. He'll come and take it, or he'll claim it and then run around the internet saying how bad you are, and while selling your stuff. He did the same thing to Mixamo, same thing in Unity, same thing with Unreal, especially with Mixamo, because he sat back and badmouthed Mixamo. Meanwhile, he went over there and stole everything from Mixamo and started selling it. And then when people was like, you know what, these are the same motions that I got from Mixamo. Oh, they stole it from me. No, he stole it from them, packaged it up, and now he's selling it to you. That's the man's problem. He is so much a horrible person. Which brings me to my next point. That he's so busy on trying to make me look like a horrible person. He looks like a horrible person he looks like a horrible person himself. My whole thing, folks, is that I get up. Only thing I do on YouTube is basically talk about him, and I do animation and I do stuff in iClone. Basically, I do stuff in iClone, sometimes in Motion Builder, sometimes in other bunch of programs. And if you can get past the fact that I'm talking about him somewhat a lot, you will see that I actually do what I say I'm going to do. I actually create the stuff that I say I'm going to create. I actually show you the process of me doing all this stuff. Then when he sees this, he makes a video like this one and tries to make it look like what I'm doing is dishonest and stupid. Okay, what's dishonest about actually doing the work? What's dishonest about me using my assets that I own and I bought to make something for someone else? What's disgusting about that? It's because he can't understand it because of what he's been doing this whole time, which is stealing from other people. Case in point, if you go back and look at this video, and I'm not actually looking at this video because I don't want nobody to really look at his videos at all, but if you come look at this video, he's basically saying that I'm stupid. I'm stupid for not using stolen content in my videos. That's what he's saying. How can you be stupid for doing and creating things the legal way? This is how he thinks. This is who he is. He's a crook. And I'm telling everybody else, stay away from this crook. Nothing will come good if you mess with this crook. He sits over here all day. I mean, he sits over all day. He calls me. He makes videos of me being a transsexual. He calls me transsexual. He calls anybody I know a transsexual, and he doesn't even know what a transsexual is. He doesn't even know what gender really is, or what gender is about, or what using or saying something about a social acceptable group of people. He doesn't understand that. And I don't ever expect him to understand that because, like I said, somebody called him mentally retarded. And he's been living with his mom since he was a child. You know, so I have nothing else to say about him other than he can keep on talking all he wants to. But the project is almost done. It's almost done. You know, a month has passed. And everybody saw me working, and everybody was thinking like, "Oh, one gun can't work while Joe's messing with him." Well, guess what, y'all? I have been working. And he hasn't stopped me. Why hasn't he stopped me? Because he can't. He can't do it. I don't worry about Joe stopping me. Never did. But he wants me to quit. He wants me to give up. He wants me to quit. He wants me to not let the world know who he is. He does not want his little town to know what he does. It's obviously he's been lying to everybody in his little town because they're actually contacting me telling me like, hey, I thought this guy was doing this, but I can't believe he's a crook. And it seems to me people in this little town are confronting him about it. Every time he opens his mouth, people know he's lying. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for him to learn in real life, that when you say something that's not true, it's a lie. Somebody's been lying to him saying it's not, but it's a lie. It's a flat out lie. So if you're saying stuff that's not true, or if you're saying stuff that's dishonest, which is what he's just said right here, that you're stupid if you use your own stuff that you paid money for. You should steal other people's stuff and use their stuff instead. That's basically what he said in this video. And then he calls himself a businessman. So who in their right mind would buy something from this man to use in something that they tend to make money and profit off of? Who? Not me. I hope not the other person who's listening to me. But the whole thing about this video is this video ain't really about him. It's about what I have achieved over the last month. What I have done. How I've impressed the person I was doing this for. How I brought it all together and how it's still coming together at the end. And it only took me a little over a month to get it done. And I am very, very, very happy and because when I first started this project, I didn't think I would be able to finish it. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it's like, it's been a while since I've had to think like this, because I haven't been in school in a while, and I had to overcome obstacles and all type of things to finish this thing. And I did. You know, I just had to put myself in the mode of thinking about solving problems and not creating new problems. You know, creating new problems was to keep going back and forth with this fool and not work on it at all. But every day, folks, every day, you all saw me work on this thing. Everybody saw me work on this thing every day. Everything he's ever said about me, everything he's ever said about me so far, people, I have proven false and irrelevant. Everything. Everything he said about me. Before I was working on this, I was working on my Archive Infinity. I was working on that one scene. Now, one scene took me a little while to do because, like I said, I had to start from scratch to make it. You know, that scene, that animated scene that I made in our Archive Infinity, where the guards were surrounding and she had to fight her way out of it, that doesn't exist nowhere. They only exist on my computer where I made it. Where I had to take a whole bunch of animation files, cut pieces and parts of it, and composite it together to make it. And this happens everywhere in the animation industry. Thank you for joining One Gun Nation, Jakub, Buzz, whatever your name was. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining One Gun Nation. Yeah, so it took me a while to do this, and you'll never see Joe do anything with this. But now, there's a lot of people out here who could probably do this and better. But I think for what I done, I think I did a pretty good job for the time I had to do this in. And I got a couple of more scenes to render out and finish. But that work right there shouldn't take me too much longer to do. You know, we're talking about maybe another couple more days until this. I mean, I've already finished re-rendering everything out and started passing off to the guy so he can do whatever he has to do with it. He's already told me that he loves it. I mean, he said it looks good, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, you know, to give me good compliments. And which is leading us to talks into doing more stuff for him. Now, if I was doing such a bad job, why is this guy trying to retain me to do the rest of his stuff? You know, why is this happening? Why come nobody won't contact Joe to do something like this? Because Joe can't do it. You know, that's when you know where's my money. You know, so true story. I don't owe you nothing, True. I owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing, Toby. I think Toby been drinking that Michigan water for too long. Yeah, so another reason why I did this project is because it was total fun. You know, I'll be honest with you all. Before this person came along, I was getting approached by people all the time wanting me to do stuff for 'em. I kept turning them down. And really reason why I turned it down is because I didn't want to do something, and then I didn't want to do something, and Joe would sit back and harass the people. This guy Joe doesn't really know who this guy is. This guy know who Joe is. Yeah, I think Ray would be proud of me too, man. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, so what's good? What's good, True? What you doing up this early, man? What you do that? You ain't usually up this early. Yeah, so I mean, all while he was over there yelling and screaming about what I did and everything, or how I'm working, what I'm doing, I just knew everything he was saying was out of spite and jealousy, folks. And here's that old saying, people say it all the time, hate don't break me, it makes me. And that's what it did. All his hate did nothing but push me to do better, to work harder. I sit back and I do like 4 or 5 1-hour streams a day, working on my series. Oh, series. Yeah, man. Yeah. True Story is another guy who works pretty hard. When he ain't tying up and locking up his wife. And he's working on something too. He's been working on it too for a long time. The stuff we icon artists do, it's not as easy as people say it is. It's not all click and animate. We have to do some work to make this stuff look good, to look a certain way. You just don't click. But it takes. Sometimes it takes us days to work on like a couple of seconds worth of animation. Now, True been working on this stuff since I met him. It was some years ago. And we've been through like 2 different softwares, 6 and iClone 6 and 7, and we're still working on it. It's not just me; it's me and a group of fellows over there on Facebook and all through iClone that we keep in contact with, and we talk to and talk about our projects and stuff. And him, Hashan, and Benjamin Tuttle, and Hashan, and Mr. Prime himself, J Prime. That's why I'll call him that right now. I'll just call him J Prime because Joe don't really know who this guy is. And we've been working. We have like a little small community of 5-6 people who we just sit back and we talk about each other's product. We show each other about stuff. We get into hangouts every once in a while and we just talk about our stuff and everything. And that's just the way artists work. And what I call these guys are my contemporaries, or people who study the same, who basically do the same type of art, who are about around the same type of age, and we all relate each other through our art, and although we do the same thing, you can tell what we do is different, from how we work and everything, but we still use the same media, which is like these I still have no classification for this software of Real Illusion because it's not quite a 3D modeling program. It is not quite the typical animation program. The classification for programs like Real Illusion, DAZ, and Poser, I call them show and tell software because what you're doing is you're just making animations and showing off what you do. So that's what I classify that as, and that's what I say that's what we do. We just make animations and we show and tell it. We show people what we do. And the thing about Joe is Joe don't understand what he's doing. He's watched me so much. He's recorded every video of mine, and he think he knows so much about what I do. He goes back and tries to implement it, and he sees it doesn't work. Because a lot of stuff I do, even though I do it live in public, I don't really explain how I'm doing it. So it's all about the explanation of what I do versus what you see me do. And you can see me do something, but you have to actually understand. The only way you can understand what I do is for me to explain it to you. And I think one time I tried to explain to Joe, the Russell Hub. What's up? What's up, Russell Hub? And I I guess that's about it, folks. I'm getting ready to get out of here in a few. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna. Well, usually I'm out of here by now. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I think I did a pretty good job on this whole series, and I probably got a few more hours worth of work in it, and I'm still debating if I should go and put more people in the crowd, if that's enough. I might go back and put some more people in the crowd, but I think when people watch this, they get the gist of what's going on, and they can tell this is a wrestling arena. And I might go back and add some lights to these little banners up here. But this is a really good fight scene. I'm looking for the whole fight scene. That's what I'm looking for. I know I have it in there somewhere. Here it is. Here's the whole fight scene right here. I'm going to shut this down. I'm going to shut this off. And I'm going to play this. Just so I can end this on a good note, folks. So, yeah, so. No, this ain't the finished one either. Oh, you know why? This isn't finished. I just thought of this. This isn't finished. I think I just, no, this ain't the finished one. Sorry, folks. This ain't the finished one. I think this might be the finished one. This may be the finished one. I'm not sure. Well, this is the one that's close to finish. As you can tell, I don't have the thing. The EXE thing ain't behind her. So this is the one right before the final render comes in, and that's why. This is right before, because I actually added more people. I added the background and stuff. I got rid of the little thing hanging down there. But yeah, so this is the close to last one to be done for the female wrestling series. Yeah, I'm tripping this morning. Yeah, that scene right there is from Mixamo. That's Mixamo animation. Bam. Yeah, so this is the last one I make before I go back and do the final adjustments. Like, I see some stuff in here that I can add, fix, whatever. Well, I like this. If anything sells this video, is this last scene right here where she well, she throws it down right here, and then everybody's chanting stomp her. So she crawls up on top of her and just started wailing on her. Blah, 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 blah. So I enjoyed that. If you look at the storyboards here, this is the part where instead of doing this right here, what I did was I just had her crawl up on her and started, like, she actually has her pinned, but I did something different with just actually just have her crawl up on her and just beat the stink out of her. And then I do have this scene right here animated when she gets the belt, and everything. And she's standing on top of the girl. She got the referee in the ring with her, and she has the belt. That's done. I don't know if I showed it to you all, but it'll probably be in the final result. I do have the newsroom. Everybody's seen the newsroom. I mean, I worked in that damn newsroom, and I probably won't get the sound. See, I'm not doing the sound. I'm not doing the sound. I guess the guy who's getting this thing, he's going to be doing the sound, and I asked him about it. I say, hey, do you have the sound and everything? He's like, no. He said he hasn't done it yet. The only thing he had done was the storyboards, and I guess he was just waiting to see how the storyboards. Now he might kick this back to me and have me put the sound effects in, but I don't know nothing about sound. I mean, I don't. I took an audio class up in school because I had to, and after I did that, I forgot everything I did in it. So I can't tell you all. About sound. I know nothing about sound. I only did sound like once for school, and that was it. That was that, and that was it. I never went back to audio again. Here you go. Here is the Where'd it go? Here's the newsroom. Well, that was the newsroom. But here's the newsroom right here, folks. So with the newsroom, with this, I just got to go back and make some stills from. I want to make some stills from this, and they're gonna be reporting on her winning the belt and then getting into a bar fight. Now I have the bar. I just got the bar, and I just got it into iClone, and when I come back this afternoon, I'm just gonna be working on getting that bar together. I got the police car and stuff like that because she gets arrested, and I got the little thing where you stand in front and get your mug shot, and everybody knows all this is done. And all this right here, all this stuff, like I was gonna animate the news section, but I you would actually have to need voices for the news to keep it in context. So I just gonna make some stills, and he can do whatever. But in case he has me come back and actually animating the newsroom, it's already set up for animation. I mean, you can actually look at it and see how cool the background's animated. The newsroom is like a newsroom, and I made this from scratch, folks. I mean, this you can't buy this. You can't buy this newsroom. Well, the chairs you can, because I didn't want to make no chairs. But the rest of this, I made that. I made the whole newsroom. As a matter of fact, I think I got pictures of this thing. Hold on. Let me go over to Facebook and pull up a picture of it. And then once again, Joe had a tirade. I mean, look, he even came over here and down thumbed it, folks. He came over and down thumbed it because he hated the fact. How can you hate somebody who made something? I don't get it. I just don't get it. He sat back here, came over here, and just put a down thumb on it because I made it. You know, here it is. Here it is, folks. That's what it looks like. It looks like a newsroom. You know, I took my time and made me a newsroom, and he's over there just hating. Just he's just over there hating. He hates it. He hates the fact that I make this stuff. How? Why? Why are you angry? Because I'm making stuff. You know, I made the thing. I even got if I can, maybe I can find it in my videos. Let me see if I can find it in my videos, folks. Let me see if I can find it in my videos. It's probably one of these, maybe closer. No, maybe in this one. Yeah, here it is. Here's me working on the newsroom. You know, I don't know if I was in Blender, but I think, yeah, I was putting in the animation for the back screen back here, so I was getting everything lined up. I need a water cooler. Yeah, so I was lining up everything. I was putting the textures and stuff in. I was doing all this stuff. I was doing After Effects, making the background, and he couldn't stand it. he just couldn't take it. I think we go up here. I think I'm talking about him. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, here I am putting it together in iClone. I think I could go a little bit further back. Let's go to this one. Let's see. Oh my gosh, stupid. Nope, this is me actually working on the fight scene right here. All right, here we go. So, yeah, so here's. Dang, I gotta go back further. Oh, this is me talking about. He tried to copy my fight scene. Maybe it's in this one, folks. Let's go this one. No, okay. So here I am in Blender, making this thing from scratch, folks. Look, I think I'm doing UVs for it right now. Right now, because I just got to finish making it, and yeah, and I brought it over here and I started making UVs for it. I mean, look how nice the table looks, folks. You know, I was testing it all out, and I might have to go back further than this now. Let's go back. Let's go over here. Let's see if I'm actually modeling it, or am I actually? Nope. I need to go back further. There's so many videos on this topic. All right. So okay. So let's go back way back here. I can't be still working on it. Nope. I'm working on the crowd. So it's gotta be before this one. All right. So let's try this one. Yeah, here we go, folks. Here's me. Here I am inside of Blender making the table. You know, here I am inside a blender making the table. And I'm doing all the UVing and stuff like that. And I think by now I'm just doing UVing. Yeah, just doing UVing and stuff. One of these videos I'm making this, but yeah, I'm putting in, I'm fixing everything up, getting everything clunked up, and getting it all UV'd out so I can take the news, so I can actually make my newsroom, because I saw a bunch of newsrooms for sale. Either they were really expensive or they were really bad looking. So I say, well, why not just make my own? Because it took me longer to look for one to buy than to actually make one. And I spent a whole half a day looking for a newsroom to buy, and I couldn't find one that I liked, you know. And I said, well, I'm just going to have to just make one. And I made one. You know, you only, when you're doing animation, you only make something if you can't find what you're looking for, you know. And that's what I do. I will go out and look and look and look and see if I can find it. If I can't find it, then I will model it. I will make it myself. You know, I would rather... Yeah, I should. I need to, but I think I got what I needed out of what I did. And so I'm doing UV and stuff right here. You know, this is all stuff that you would never see on Joe's channel. You would never see on Joe's channel him actually starting at the beginning of something and actually finishing. You'll never see him do this. And then, what's the video he's gonna make after I leave from here? Let me tell you what video he's gonna make. He's gonna make the video called what's he gonna do? He's gonna say let me get it right of what he's gonna say. He's gonna say I didn't make this. I could have got it from him. Now we know what we can get from him. This is what we can get from him, people. If you were paying me money to make you something, would you want to see this? Would you want to see this and then look at it and say, wait a minute, you ripped this out of a game? The voice. I could be the voice of one of the wrestlers. I bet you could, Mr. Cat. I bet you could. But yeah, I mean, this is what actually helps you when you're working on something, is to, for the person you doing stuff for, see you actively working on their stuff. See you actively taking the time to make fresh stuff for his stuff. You're not buying everything, but you're buying some things and you're making some things, and that gives the person a good sense of, like, yeah, he's really taking his time to do this stuff. You know, that's what people like to see when you work. I mean, I used to do airbrushing. And one of the things that we did as airbrush artists is we had to work on people's stuff and perform in front of them. That means we had to work on their stuff, and they will watch us work on their stuff. And you'll know if you're hitting the point if they're smiling when you turn around or not, you know. My boy Chuck used to just have a mirror sitting there where he can actually look at his customers while they're watching him. You know, just to get a vibe of how they feel, of how they're working. No, you can get a lot from a customer just by observing them. To see what you're doing is what they expect or what they over expect. You always want to expect and over expect. You don't want to go below expect. Once you go below expect, that means somebody's gonna be wanting their money back. You know, so that's one thing. So yeah, so this is just me working on this stuff. I think I was making the little light strip that goes around it. I think this is what I was doing at this point, making a little light strip. I think that's what I was doing. Nope, I wasn't doing it. I think I already made the light strip. Yeah, here it is. Here's me making a little light strip that goes around it, and that's a separate piece. That's basically a separate piece that I made separate from this. Somewhat. But yeah, so yeah, this is me working on it. I mean, I could do a whole video. Of going back and looking about what I did, and I probably will sometime in the intimate future once I finish this project up and before I get into the next project. But this is just me showing you all that, you know, out of everything, and I'll let him talk. Out of everything he ever said about what I do, how I work, And then even up to the point that where he was saying that I'm fake. Now, this is stuff that he said about me, that I was fake. Everything I did is fake. To him, it's fake. And in order for you to believe him, is for you not to sit back and come over to me and watch my channel and give me the time of day to prove that what he's saying is absolutely false. Everything this man says is absolutely false. And I prove it every day when I turn on my computer and I start streaming. And I show you all that I am actually working. See, his whole thing is to give you, if you don't show people, see, Joel's the type of person that takes advantage of people's ignorance. And I'm not saying ignorance as of in bad terms. I'm just saying ignorance of unknown, as if you don't know it now, type of ignorance. All right. Joe takes advantage of your ignorance by saying something that you have yet to see for yourself, and saying that his word is the absolute word because what he says is true. Now, you being ignorant of the fact of what went on and what type of context of what he's talking about could exist, Joe will go back to the actual source and get rid of the source and just have you believe have you believe what he says. That's what he does. He has went out and deleted videos of mine because he wants to keep the narrative in his favor, for as someone couldn't sit back and see what was truly going on. That way there will only be one side, and that's his side of the story. So if Joe does a video about me, and then I do a video that tells you what everything he just said about me is wrong, and here's the proof, Joe will actively go over to the video and try to take the video down. And then after the video is taken down, he'll come out and say, well, you see, it was taken down because of this and that. But you wouldn't know that, because the video is taken down before you saw it. It's because he went and took it down. That's how he tries to shape a narrative. It's the same way Fox News and all of them do it. They try to shape a narrative, a false narrative, a false sense of truth, to make you believe that because this isn't here to prove that what you're saying is incorrect, false, or erroneous, you take the initiative to take care of the actual truth. You get what I'm saying, folks? I'm not trying to preach to you like I'm a cult leader. I'm just trying to say compare what I do versus what he says. It's not what they say, but what they do, folks. Watch what I do versus what he says. I'm tired of defending myself against a total moron. I'm tired of it. I don't think I have to. At this point, I don't think I have to, because he sat here the whole month with me as I went through this project and told everybody. His mom and his mom and maybe his older brother, the only two people who I consider everybody. He sat back and told everybody that I'm fake, I'm phony, blah blah this, blah blah that, and I'm a woman. He sat back and said all this stuff to keep me from working, to keep me going back and forth with him. And I proved to him not only can I go back and forth with him, but I can still work and complete a project. You know, which kind of hurts his feelings now. But that's okay, folks, because as of right now, this is the only thing that really matters right now. Completion. Completion. The fact that he can't do what I do, and it shows. It really shows. And he can't really stand it. You know, it really shows that he can't really stand it, and he's gonna get on today, folks. You know, he's gonna get on today. He's gonna do his song and dance of "Believe Me." He's gonna call me a woman multiple times. He's going to say a whole bunch of stuff about me, which is 100% not true. But when he says that, please come back over my channel. Watch my videos. Don't watch the videos that I talk about Joe. Watch the videos where I sit down and work for hours. Creating something. Taking my time. Animating. Take a look at my videos that I finished. Go back and look at Archive of Infinity. My work talks for me. I don't have to talk for it. So thank you all for watching. I gotta get ready to go, but I'm just leaving you all with just, I mean, this was just a thoughtful video I thought I'd make this morning. You know, not me saying stuff about Joe, playing the video about Joe and his illegal business he running out of his mom's house, and I think y'all know enough about that. But this is a thoughtful video that I thought I'd share with you all this morning. I think this is a video that had to be made, and it had to be made to as rather watch your work. You know, that's good. But like I say, it's two sides to a story. It is up to you all to decide who's on the better end of this story. You know, I try to keep everything I say to y'all 100% up front. I try to show everybody what I do, because I've learned over the years that when you're dealing with somebody like Joe takes advantage of anybody's ignorance. He will take advantage of it. As long as you don't know, that's where he flourishes. It's until the veil is open, like on Sketchfab, like on Facebook, like on like on Unity, like on a lot of places he's been when people finally found out who he was. You know, you all know who I am from the get-go. Joe's just trying to make me out to be a worse person than he is. That's plain simple. I see what he's doing. He's trying to make me to be a worse person than him, and he's trying awful hard to do it, but it's not working. So I'll leave it up to the people who watch me and watch him to decide, who would you rather believe? A person who was arrested for stalking, a known con artist, a thief, and a crook. Alright? And that's my observation of him. Now I'll leave you all's observation of me to you. But right now I'm going to get off and talk to you guys later. This is One Gun. I'm signing out. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.
I know we could Not sure I know it could have been better. You look so pretty in lies. Big egos live in this castle. Not sure I'm ever. I know it could have been better. You look so pretty in lies. Big egos live in this castle. Not sure I'm ever. I know it could have been better. You look so pretty in lies. Big egos live in this castle. Not sure I'm ever. I know it could have been better. You look so pretty in lies. Big egos live in this castle. Not sure I'm ever. I know it could have been better. You look so pretty in lies. Big egos live in this castle. Not sure I'm ever.